Extra thick!
Well, there's the selling point right there. Like with Pyro and all of the other Blade waifus that are getting cosplay, well, here we are. The real Zarya. Nah, that's a single person. Try the real 21 right here. Or here. Or here. And you know, it's just the margin formers. It's not easy to do. Like, hey guys, here's my 21 cosplay already, but I've got to body paint my entire fucking body cotton candy pink, so you fuckers better appreciate this. But human form? Oh, fuck me, slow down Google. The game's only been out like 2 weeks and there's so many already. So yeah, no need to buy the game, just look at 21 cosplay and porn on Google. With my final verdict being a, oh, bust a nut out of 5. Thanks for watching. Okay, no, but seriously, while she is clearly the tracer of this game, being the new fine ass to look at,
Extra thick!
and the new poster girl who is the main selling point as she is the main character and the entire story is based around her, this is Dragonball FighterZ. Well, what dicks? Excuse me, Bandai. I've used the Z to replace the S for years now. Have you not read my titles? Insane Reviews, spelt with a Z. Oh, you're just a fucking poser, eh? Stealing my thing, 1v1 me in hockey. I mean, I know you want to be like the greatest dragon in gaming, but you could have at least asked. But I'll let it slide, as there is some pretty good stuff in here, as well as some real bullshit. This is Dragonball FighterZ, or Dragonball FighterZ. They got this part spot fucking on. Like more than any other DBZ game. It's like, we're not only gonna hit the bullseye, but we're gonna hit the bullseye dead center. Everything about the visual audio part of the game looks and sounds exactly like the cartoon to a T. Each of the cutscenes feels like a mini episode, and due to the way the characters and the backgrounds are rendered, it's very hard to distinguish the 2D cutscenes from the 3D gameplay, as kind of like Smash Bros. 4 with Mr. Game & Watch, who appears flat but isn't really. It's all rendered in this 2.5D uncanny valley type effect, if you will, which is not a bad thing for this game. No, if anything, it only adds, as gameplay and cutscenes flow seamlessly into each other, and because of this, it really pulls off that Cuphead feel of you're playing the cartoon. It captures the show perfectly, and if you add the whole game cutscenes and fights together, it just feels like one big interactive movie that again flows seamlessly between the interactive fights and the mini episode like cutscenes. And when you add in the music into this mix, it's really accurate to the show and it just ties it all together. I do have to nitpick that the power-up noise, you know the one. This one.
What in the hell does she take us for?
I would never allow anyone to treat me like food.
Yeah, seems to be a bit too loud and it's overused, and every fucking reviewer has used it. It's not funny, okay? Listen, reviewers, DBZ, it's not funny anymore, and considering how loud you made it in these cutscenes, it really gets grating. Like, how do you feel if I use it for the whole review? This sound playing in the background. You're going to hear this for this sentence and the transition to prove the point. But aside from that one nitpick, graphically and musically, they got it spot on and it's perfect. And there is no need to try and update it in the next game, as you've already mastered that DDR style right here. So, spot on and well done there.
Extra thick! Extra thick!
Pinky brings Dash candy. Get inside her van. Come to Pinky's basement to execute Pinky's plan.
I'm working out my twerking, my libido's always lurking, cause you're such a pretty pony, and this feeling can't be phony. I will take you out to dinner, make you feel like such a winner, and before the night is over, make you feel like such a sinner. Any man or makeup doesn't matter to me, baby. I can flex to meet your feelings, anything to get you raving. On a plane, on a train, in Spain, in the rain, I can cater to the cravings that a body never names. So I'm working on my twerking just to get your body jerking. So settle up your saddle while I go and fetch the paddle. Gotta give in to your feelings, don't you dither with my dealings. Ain't no grading for my love, cause I'll fit you like a glove. Leader you can follow, do whatever you can swallow. Tell it to your friends, everybody shake your ends. Tonight's about the meaning of the body rockin' being, cause there ain't no lasting limits any place that you can visit.
What? That's about right, isn't it? So, you, as in you, sitting right there, are now inside Goku's body. Because of course it had to be him, right? He's the one everybody loves. Can't have anybody, can't have a normal character. I mean, that's mostly a joke. It's a mute point to get you invested in the story. So, basically there is a mysterious force suppressing everyone's power. However, because you, sitting there, are a ghost from another dimension, an omnipresent god, because lol meta, you're actually outside the game, sitting in your chair, so you're outside the signal's influence. Lol meta flowy, I'm real! You can possess any fighter's body and fight uninhibited. And then Lord Burus and his gay boyfriend, guardian angel thing, I don't know, DB Super explained it and it's a bit confusing, come down and say the signal is fucking everything up, and you, inside Goku's body, that is you the player, need to fix it. But before we go on, can I just say how much I really love the way they storied, that is in the wording he uses and the characterization of Burus in this game. As Burus is a god, it being shown in the show that a single tap of his finger and boom, planet dead. Or again, in a fight against this big muscular man, a single finger is enough to fuck that guy up, which again is something to show how godly he is. And if we were to personify God, like let's take the most basic example of the Christian God, in the Bible the very first line is like, let there be light and the universe was born. Now if you try and actually grasp the physical size of the universe, well you can't. You know, you look up at the night sky and it's like, oh, we're so small, but we're just like one tiny planet in one galaxy, in an infinite number of galaxies. It's literally impossible to truly fathom the size of the universe. And this one guy comes along, snaps his fingers, and boom, entire fucking universe with a click of your fingers. And the writers really had this in mind, as if God was trying to help out, it's like, oh, let me help you there, little guy. Oops, I accidentally blew up the planet just by touching it. My bad. And we see Burus do this. We see him say this line.
And if that wasn't enough, Frieza and Cell are back. It's utter chaos, I tell you.
Oh?
Oh, how about, oh no, the Earth is doomed? But now that you're here, you can thrash him for us.
It really is none of my business, you know. Please go and get those tasty tidbits you prepared earlier.
Let's get to the bottom of this. Come on, guys. The rest of our crew needs to be saved as well. Can't do it alone, though. I'll need some muscle.
Just to reiterate, we're not helping, understand?
Aw, don't be so cold. I'll prepare a meal so good it'll blow your godly taste buds away.
Did I not make myself clear? We're not lifting a finger, lady. If you need help, you might get a better response by asking the soul inside Goku.
Huh?
He's got control of Goku's body, right? Well, then he can do the fighting for you.
We are gods, it's not our problem, and it just fits a lot better than the show, and I certainly prefer this version over the anime. Like, I get it, you had to make him tap his finger and blow the planet up in the opening episode, and you had to show him fighting the dude with one finger to show his godly powers, but also for entertainment as, I want to see Goku fight him. But here, while he could just touch 21, she's dead, fix the world's problem with a snap of his fingers, he doesn't, as, again, he is a god, and it's not his problem, nor does he care about interfering, as it would be too much of a Deus Ex Machina. And this is what I really like, because this is a Mary Sue done right. He is pretty much perfect in every way, being the godlike ego, a actual literal god, he can't die or really be hurt, and can blow up worlds with one tap. Essentially, that's the character we all played as kids, where you can't take a loss, so you pull out your everything-proof shield and say, I win times infinity, Mary Sue. However, like myself, it's a Mary Sue done right, where they have all that power, but won't use it and disconnect themselves from the plot, as it's way too easy. Like, believe it or not, I am also a Mary Sue. Like, my narcissism aside, calling myself the greatest dragon in gaming, which I am, if we give context, in my universe, I am essentially a god. Think about me and Malfour. We are both purple dragons that are legendary, and they're only born once every 1,000 years, 100 if the right criteria is met. And think about the stuff we do. I can literally freeze time around me, crystallizing it to prevent damage to myself and anyone else. Malfour can summon ancient golems that can literally blow up the world, and even do so. And at the end of it all, I literally put the entire planet, the Earth, back together. And if I wanted, I could be like Malfour. I could break this world just as easy as I put it back together. And for both of us, we are essentially immortal, never truly dying. Being myself more in the mainstream, I am kind of like Time Lord, and when the body is too weak, I just regenerate into a new one. I mean, even at the end of my second incarnation, when the world's going back together, oh, look at that! Floating islands in the sky! Where have I seen that before? Whichever way you slice it, Skylands was the canonical sequel, but putting the planet back together just expended too much energy, so I had to regenerate into my third incarnation, Spyro. Even if my plan of my own kingdom went awry due to outside meddling. Cough, cough. And then for Malfour, he threw his soul into that space portal, and that turned his body to stone for when he could ever come back, so he can essentially live forever. So, whichever way you look at it, we are pretty much gods and Mary Sues. But, in the context of the games that you have seen and the media you have seen, we're kind of disconnected. Like, oh, I can fix the world, I can pull the world back together if I wanted, I could blow the world apart if I wanted. But, I mean, that's too easy, so you just get my basic fire breath and ice breath, because you don't want to play as you don't want that world blowing up power. That's too much. Don't worry about it. So, here, I really like this, as it does show a Mary Sue done right, where even though Barusa or Burrus could just fix everything, he's not going to. And this is why I bring this up, because there is a flip side to this. Whereas Burrus is a Mary Sue done right, all powerful, but won't use that power, the flip side is our main character Goku and Android 21, who are Mary Sue's done wrong. And it really shows the comparison. I want to show you this. Remember this?
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
Remember that infamous line? When he said there was no way that power level could be over 9,000, back in the day, 9,000 was really fucking high. Even Frieza, our strongest of the strong, was still only 10,000, and only a Super Saiyan could beat her, as it's a myth, a legend, something with over 10,000, fairy tales. So when the moment happened, it was a slow boil. It was earned. People had to die. Emotions had to rise. We have this sense of self-realization, and we get this scene. Yeah, and in the very next cutscene, after Gohan is escaping and Goku is pissed, Frieza be like,
How can you possibly have attained such power? No, to tell me. No, please, not that!
shitting themselves because a legend, a fucking myth from way back in the mists of time is real, and Frieza knew that, and knew their power level was 10,000 and was shit compared to the new Super Saiyan of 15 to 20,000. It was a moment and everybody remembers that. But now, oh no.
This is a Super Saiyan. And this is what is known as a Super Saiyan that has ascended past a Super Saiyan. Or you could just call this a Super Saiyan 2. And this...
What's he doing?
is to go even further beyond!
And now he's Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, Red, Super Saiyan God. Oh man, and the power levels go to literally, and people have even spoken it in the show, they go to over 1 million. And none of them were earned, it's just like... And boom, done. No real effort or sacrifice anymore. Also, the over 1 million verbally spoke was in Dragon Ball GT. This is a post-edit, because I apparently didn't know that people hated GT, and I didn't know that GT was classed as non-canon. So a lot of this review and anything I say about the story, like the power levels, is all from GT. So before you type your fits of rage, don't blame me. I just didn't know GT wasn't canon. Ah, and poof, I'm Super Saiyan 3 now. No tension, no strife, no build-up. And this is kind of where the story mode falls down, as the main character and the main antagonist has this syndrome. Android 21. Oh, she's a girl, but needs more power. Now she's a boo. Oh, needs even more power. Now she's a boo with blackish grey. As we don't have a whole season to do this shit, so boom, boom, boom. Transformations all by the by. And same with Goku. Oh man, we don't have time for an entire season of this shit. Boom, Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, final battle. So it kind of loses tension near the end. Like, an overpowered ending can be fun, but it has to be earned. If we look at games like Splatoon 2 or even my games, you had to earn your way to the final boss, and you had to fight him fairly for 3 rounds. Like, there's technically already a death scene, and they're technically already dead, but the 4th round is just a bonus, like, oh, hey there, that boss is technically dead, so what the fuck? Here's Dark Spyro, a super fucking OP version of yourself, which is just a bonus round. Go on, blast his ass to stones, watch him shatter, see how truly broken he is. Oh, by the way, did you like that bonus round? Well, New Game Plus, here's Dark Spyro, and now you can see how really utterly broken I am. and you can go through the game and see why it's New Game Plus. Or in Splatoon 2, well, you basically killed Octavio with your shitty pistol and he's pretty much dead, so what the hell, here's the super OP thing that kills little Inklings in one hit. Make it rain and here's some jamming music, have fun. The super moments were great as they were built up to, but in the closing third act of the story, because we're rushing the story, 21 is already in the blackish grey form, we've unlocked Super Saiyan 3, so all of the closing third act of the story already feels like that OP bonus round, and it starts to wear a little bit thin at the end. Honestly, I'm actually really more excited to see 21 and this saga in the show, as again, the games usually preload to the show, like Pokemon. Oh, hey Jellyfish Mom, and boom, there she is in the show. Or Ultra Space, well, as she's going to Ultra Space, here's him going down the pipe and getting into the Ultra Space uniform. We're going to Ultra Space, boys. This was already predicated in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it just wasn't in the anime yet. And like the last thing, the Ultra Sea or whatever it's called, well, this is just one room. In the game, it's just one room, but in the anime, oh look, there's jellyfish flying all over the place. There she goes, flying off. Look how big this place is. It's more flushed out. So, as a framework, it's great. 21 after her transformation into pink
Extra thick!
lizard girl is a joy to behold. Like an insane, malicious Kirby as she turns people into sweet treats, eats them, and absorbs their power, and they're both pink. And when talking between her good side that's got more morality and her evil side, the voice actress did a great job of portraying her descent into madness, but oops, game too short, so here's final boss. So it feels less of a snack by snack basis that was built up over weeks, and more of a huge food binge within the space of like a day. It even leaves off with the most slap in the face line that I'll let you listen to.
Earth's finest confections. Oh, does this mean you're still not satisfied? Hey, if you want answers, you're free to look for them yourself.
Wheeze, I'll eat your share if you don't hurry.
Oh dear, coming! Oh, and do fill me in once you've pieced it all together.
Allow me to translate. Man, what a weird ending. Clearly there is missing lore and shit. Oh well, we, as the devs, are too lazy to answer them questions. Turns to the audience. But if MatPat makes a game theory on it, do let us know, as we can pull a Scott Cawthon and use that as the missing lore like he did, because that's what we had in mind. Nah, we didn't really have that in mind, but MatPat said it, so has to be true, and the fanbase eats his content up. You lazy pieces of shit. I mean, maybe you're saving it for DLC or whatever, but come on. Turning to the audience and saying it directly to the people's face came off less of a Pinkie Pie fourth wall break, ha ha ha, that was kind of cringy but funny, and more of a ha ha ha, you dicks. Anyway, I've rambled off for long enough, so all in all, the story is okay and adds a bit of new depth to characters, but it would work so much better in the anime where they can make it a saga and they have time to flush out everything a little bit more in the space of like 20 episodes rather than a condensed 6-hour story. But on to the more important aspect, the gameplay. It's pretty darn good. Now, I'm not that much of a fighting game enthusiast. You know, you might catch me a Smash Brothers here or there, and a Dragon Ball every once in a while, like Budokai 2, but for the most part I don't really play them, and nor do I really know what I'm going to be saying in this section. However, Midnight, whose footage you are watching, and Alex the Black Fox are both fighting game aficionados. Tekken, Injustice, Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter, Smash, Dragon Ball Z, they played them all and got the knowledge to talk sense. So, seems they are both on YouTube. I will be linking Alex and Midnight's channels down below. Anyway, as for my personal experience, it's really good. The game is fun and fast-paced, and they captured that frantic feeling that made Smash so popular and the other Dragon Ball games so popular. Button presses are extremely responsive, and everything just feels extremely fluid. Each attack has a decent impact and impact effect, making each hit feel really gratifying to land, and the ultimates are a spectacle to behold. And from the expert side, I am told there is no lag time, and all of the nuances like full-on combos, as there is an auto combo button for scrubs like me, while they do take some practice, are really satisfying if you can pull them off, and will certainly punish those that want to try and spam an auto combo like scrubs like me, as well as the counter system being very intuitive. However, there is one problem with all this. The one point that really lets the fun gameplay down is its favoritism. It might be fun to use certain characters, but it's not fun to fight against no skill, overpowered pieces of shit. Like if you have a favourite character, you know, it does not matter if they're subpar, everyone has flaws, you know, so it's still a fair playing field. So your classics like Krillin, Frieza, Android 18, Yamcha, they all have their own weaknesses but also have their own strengths, and those strengths and weaknesses can be used against them. Not the Super Saiyan Gods and Super Saiyans or Black Goku and Android 21, because they're special and you either have to unlock them via ridiculous dick missions like getting ass rank on very hard on the arcade, or just flat out buy them. And most people just flat out bought them. And if you have not been watching the footage on the screen, you can see Android 21 and the others have just been kicking the shit out of everyone. Yes, they do take some skill to master, but not that much, as all their attacks and counters are far stronger than any normal fighter. So much so that while this game was accepted for Evo, the three mentioned above, the two Super Saiyan Gods and Super Saiyans and Black Goku, are banned. Because, I mean, just look at it, with 21 herself currently up for debate on whether to ban her or not as well.
Gee, I wonder why. It's not because if you try and use the characters you like and you go up against this trio, you just get pasted up and down the corridor automatically or anything. So, I feel like either some sort of balancing, or at the very least just locking them out of rank mode is needed, as it's quickly turning into Fox and Falco in Smash Brothers, where every single person is using them, and winning is no longer real skill, it's just, here I come, here I come, here I come, ah!
Mommy, you too!
Android 21, win!
Fuck you, Bandai. It's the first game of the year and I already see this loot box shit. So, we're going to go through what they are, how they work, and how Bandai is dangerously close to being a dick and just having their game automatically disqualified. So like any game in the year of the loot box, FighterZ has loot boxes in the form of capsules. Each capsule contains just one random cosmetic item, from an in-game skin to a player title to little chibis walking around the plaza. And of course, each of them has a rarity of common, uncommon, rare, epic and legendary, with things like stickers, which are basically sprays, which you can use in the chat as little emotes, as you might have guessed being common, and things like the skins and the little chibis that walk around the town being legendary, thus having a lower % chance to pull them out of the capsule. Now, here's the fun part. These capsules cost in-game currency. 3,000 zenny scores you one capsule. However, one capsule contains one item. That's not a lot. It's almost like you could, I don't know, crazy fucking thought here. You know, it's a pretty wild thought. Just buy the single item as you know what you want, and it would be guaranteed. Oh, but what am I saying? We're still feeling the effects of the year of the loot box. No, Bandai wants you to gamble for it. What's that? What's that? You see somebody using a nice little Android 21 chibi? You want to walk around the plaza? Oh, well, I'm sorry. You can't just do what you did in the old days. You can't just buy it for like 10,000 zenny. Nah, gotta gamble for it. 3,000 zenny a shot for one of these gambling capsules. And I'm just getting so sick and tired of this stupid gambling box system, and I'm just about ready to disqualify anybody that uses them, paid for or not. And Bandai, you're so fucking lucky, so fucking lucky, as guess what, everybody? At one point during the alpha somewhere, these boxes could be bought for real world money. Here is a shot of the article about said microtransactions. Now, they were removed, right? So let's move to this picture, as we can see that there was two currencies. Zenny, the silver one, the one you get in game, you know, the bullshit one, and gold, the real one, the one that you need to buy with real world money. So this is a slight update to this particular part of the review. As you saw from those loot box opening videos, you did see that both of the people featured did get a premium coin, as they can be got in boxes in a very minuscule, measly amount, but at one point you were supposed to be able to buy them in vast amounts, and the whole idea is that a premium capsule guarantees, much like a Twitch Prime golden box for Overwatch, a Twitch Prime golden loot box always guaranteed you a legendary, as would a premium capsule always guarantee you a gold or rainbow item that we saw the other fellow got. So you would either be guaranteed an epic or a legendary with a premium capsule. After doing a little bit more digging, it does look like Bandai has removed them for good, but I still wouldn't hold my breath. So anything I say beyond this update, where I say like, oh, they're probably going to be scummy, I'm not going to be as harsh to Bandai in the future from this update, but I still wouldn't hold my breath because, again, as I explained, there was still no reason to add this stupid gambling system when you could have very easily just let players buy the things they want for X amount of zenny. 3,000 zenny got you a capsule, but if playing the game's too hard, you could always buy gold, and it would only take 10 gold for a capsule. Now, I've looked into a lot of articles, and there's no real answer why they removed it, but they did remove it during the beta. who knows? Maybe it was backlash from the fans that really liked the game and didn't want the microtransactions. Maybe Bandai chickened out after seeing how a swarm of internet piranhas was ripping Destiny 2's Eververse and Star Wars Battlefront's loot boxes to shreds. Or maybe they had some decency and were actually listening to their fans saying that they don't want the capsules to be paid for to be a gambling box service and did it out of morality. Yeah, right, this is a AAA company. I have to believe it's the second one, and they don't want to swim in the lake until the piranhas are gone. As if you had some morality. A, you would have not done it in the first place. You would have just let people buy what they want, rather than having to gamble with these gambling capsules. B, again, you would have never put the monetary Bible of gold in there in the first place. C, it would have never have crossed your mind, like, you would have just said, hey, like Ratchet and Clank and Spyro and all the other games on the PS1 and 2, you can just get everything in game. We're not even going to think about putting microtransactions in. And C, the biggest one why I know it's not a sense of morality, is even now, in the full game, gold is still here. This picture I've been showing you ain't out of the beta, it's out of the full game. The gold is still there, and I've seen this so many times before. Like, it's almost like you're just waiting for the backlash and the loot box swarm to die down and move on. And after all the reviews are out and it's all been forgotten about, you will add the microtransactions back in. And you can't say that's not what they're thinking, as I've seen many others do it. EA with Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, Ubisoft with The Division, and so forth. All adding the microtransactions in months later, after all the reviews are out, after all the scores have been given. As most reviewers are like, oh well, I already gave it a score and I'm just too lazy, or I don't have the time to go back and change the entire video. I'm not falling for that shit anymore, Bandai. After the year of the loot box and all the other AAA companies doing it, I'm not falling for that shit, and neither are a lot of other people. I'm watching you, alright? I'll egregiously let your gambling boxes slide, even though, again, why do you need them? You get a single item. Why not just let people buy what they want, as again, it's only the single item in the box anyway. But I'll egregiously let your gambling boxes slide. But I'm watching you, and it might never happen. Maybe Bandai does have some sense of fucking compassion and are listening to fans, so maybe they'll never put them back in. But you fucking put them back in, I'm going to be watching you all year. They go back in, automatic disqualification, Bandai. You'll just get a 0. I'm not dealing with this microtransaction shite anymore. So I'm watching you. So, my final verdict for Dragon Ball Candy Waifu Simulator is a really good but flawed 3 out of 5. FighterZ is a fantastic fighting game for the most part, and a really great addition to the Dragon Ball universe. The music and graphics, much like Cuphead, do make you feel like you're playing the cartoon, and when you're not interacting, the cutscenes really feel like an actual real mini episode, and I honestly can't wait for the 21 Saga to be translated from this quick, shorter game into the proper episode by episode anime. The gameplay is very solid, so much so that within a week it's been approved for EVO, the fighting game like top level tournament fighting game top level aficionados, and if they're approving it within a week, you know the combat is on point. However, they do have a rule, and that rule does tie into the game's downfall of favoritism, as some characters like the Super Saiyan Gods and Super Saiyans and Goku Black are going to be banned, and rightly so, as it's clear they are way stronger than normal fighters, with Android 21 currently in banning discussions. And I can see why. Like, if you want to go in with a team you like, you know, you want to practice with this team and get good with them, as you like those particular characters, say like Yamcha, Tien, Krillin. If you go into a fight and see that your opponent is using a team of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or 21, yeah, don't even try, just put the controller down. They're horribly imbalanced just because, ha ha ha, lol, Goku main character, Super Saiyan God, they're so popular, and 21 is the main character, so no restrictions on the main character, woo! So, restrictions or nerfs of certain characters would be nice to have everyone on a level playing field, as it would be fair, and you know, you really don't want another Smash Brothers Fox Falco situation, which again ties into the second point off, which was the story, which I didn't like the way they handled the power creep, where I was just like, oh, Android 21 human, margin, evil black form, superpowered, and then obviously Goku going from 1, 2 to 3 in the story just with a blink of an eye, because we don't want to build any dramatic tension. But the story, again, it'll probably work better in the animated series, and it was still enjoyable, but it just wasn't my particular cup of tea. But of course, the main point off, the biggest point off, was those fucking stupid loot boxes. After 2017, the year of the loot box, I really fucking hate this stupid method of distributing loot. Oh, but you're not spending real world money, it can all be earned in game, blah blah blah. Don't give a shit. Just let people buy the skin or the icon or whatever they want. Not fucking gamble for it in a little gambling capsule. And Bandai, don't think I won't be keeping a close eye on you. Don't think for a moment you can just wait a month or two and then slip the microtransactions in. As Ubisoft, EA, everybody pulled that shit last year. Now, there's no saying that they will do this, but these fucking capsules are set up and ripe for the microtransactions, and at one point in the alpha they were there, just removed. But the gold currency, the real one, the premium one, well, there's still remnants of that in the game, so don't try it or you will be disqualified. I'm already potentially going to have to ban Sea of Thieves this year because it's going to have microtransactions. And if it's the big bullshit ones, well, that's bullshit, because I was actually looking forward to Sea of Thieves and that was possibly going to get a good top 5 game thing, and now it's going to have to be disqualified. So don't think I won't do it to you fucking Bandai. But aside from those two main points, it's a really good fighting game. And if you're into the fighting game genre or DBZ in general, this is certainly one title you don't want to miss out on.
The minute you let me go, I'm gonna blast you into nothing.
I know, so I'm not going to let go.
What? Ah! No! You'll kill us both, you fool!
Don't worry, Mordecai and Rigby. I know you're sad, but I promise this is a happy ending. Take care of each other. Goodbye.